Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing good. Beautiful day here in California, man. What can I say? Guys, I'm really concerned about what's going on in the world right now. I really am. I guess what really strikes me as odd is that, a lot of people are not really starting to look at the issues that I'm looking at. I mean, if you guys haven't seen it, man, we're so close to World War III, it's not even funny, guys. And what are some of the things that are really troubling to me? Well, the fact that Russia not only, decided to invade Ukraine, but the fact that some of these countries that are neighboring Russia, that are NATO countries like Estonia, I believe Latvia and Lithuania, and also Poland, you stop and think about it, man, they are so close. And if I don't know if you guys know anything about Article 5 of the NATO agreement, that if one NATO country is attacked, that all NATO countries are supposed to defend that country like if it's their own. So we are so close to World War III, it's not even funny, guys. And it scares the shit out of me. It really does. As somebody who's seen war, who's been through war, I don't wish that on anybody. I really don't. I don't wish the atrocities that I saw on anybody. And it scares me. It scares me for the simple fact that I think Russia has no idea what they're getting themselves into. They really aren't. If anything, maybe they should have learned from our mistakes. We went to Iraq and we ended up disbanding the Iraqi army. I'm not sure if you guys remember that. But when that happened, we ended up actually having to have an insurgency in Iraq, and it was pretty much every one of these guys that was part of the Iraqi army, and of course people that came from other parts of the Middle East because they wanted to fight Americans. And well, that's exactly what happened, and a lot of people were lost. A lot of people died, including a good friend of mine, and of course others that were part of my platoon and company. So I can tell you guys that I think Russia is really putting themselves in a situation they can't get out of. And I really don't think that it doesn't matter how aggressive they are, how much they feel that they can overpower Ukraine. I think in the long run, in the bigger aspect of it all, they will lose, and they will lose badly. And it's going to affect not just the countries that are involved, but it's going to affect the world's economy. I mean, if you guys are already thinking you're paying a lot for gas, believe me, it's going to go quadruple of what it was. The things that we buy on a regular basis are going to end up being even higher. I feel like eventually we're going to end up being in a very deep depression, if we don't do something about it. But in reality, what scares me even more is that we really have weak leadership in Washington. And this is not me being biased because I'm more of a conservative. It's just me being very real. And the thing about it, it's not just us as Americans that are looking at this, it's the whole world that's looking at this. Now, I only listen to small bits of President Biden's State of the Union, but basically this guy just loves throwing free money and doesn't stop and think about the repercussions of it all. This is the reason why we have such high inflation, because he continues to put these policies in which he doesn't care. He'd rather give free money away to buy your boat instead of making people work for it. And it's getting sickening for a lot of us that like to work and like to be contributing to our country. It's just tough times we live in, guys. And I would always tell you guys that the best resource, or the best person that could best defend yourself and your family, is you. And this is the reason why I'm so pro-gun. I am so pro Second Amendment, for the simple fact that I know when it comes down to it, you guys are your best source for being able to protect yourselves and protect your family. It's interesting how Ukraine ended up having to give arms to its people in order for them to protect themselves. It just tells you that the Second Amendment was built for a reason. And I think people are still not really thinking about the whole ordeal, how important the Second Amendment really is. But it's kind of crazy, guys. We live in crazy times. I would just tell you guys is, you know, if you guys recall, a lot of us became preppers during the Obama administration. If you're not in that prepper mentality, I suggest you get yourself into that. I suggest you have enough supplies for a week. You know, I suggest you have enough fuel so you can run your generators for a week if for some reason something happens. You know, not trying to be paranoid, but just trying to be real, guys. What's happened in Ukraine can happen anywhere. And believe me, if we get into a war, I do see a country actually probably having the balls to want to invade the United States, because it's just going to get to that point. So I would tell you guys, just be prepared, man. You know, and I hope that Russia understands that what they're getting themselves into, it's a long drawn war in which they're never going to win. The will of the Ukrainian people is strong. I have been very, very impressed by their will to want to continue to fight, their will to want to beat the Russians in any kind of way they can. And you stop and think about it, you know, a man and his rifle is the most powerful thing in this world. And I think a lot of people don't understand that. Even big countries and big armies think that, you know, sometimes technology and all this other stuff is going to win a war. But in reality, it's that person on the ground with a rifle in their hand that's going to win a war. And the Russian military has not impressed me at all. Actually, if you really stop and think about it, we took over Iraq in 3 days. How many days have these guys been fighting? And they haven't done anything. They got like a huge convoy of vehicles just stuck. Yeah, it doesn't impress me. So I think Russia's kind of shown their card. It's kind of bit them in the ass, because they're starting to see how weak they are. They're not that really they're not that organized as people think they are. Anyways, guys, take care of yourselves. Look at the current events and look how this is going to affect your life, and prepare for it. That's pretty much all I got. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. And I'm out.